Hi, I'm Jason and welcome to this Part 8 tutorial for Linux Command Line for Beginners. I say Part 8, I think I'm actually in week number 8 of this COVID-19 lockdown as well, funny enough. Anyway, in the previous session we touched on creating files and appending extra data to the files that we created. In this session we'll be looking at copying files, moving files and renaming files, and we'll look at deleting files as well as folders. So I'm going to stop babbling and we'll just jump straight in. So here we can see I've got my terminal window open already. And in the last session, we created 4 files under our files/day folder in our home directory. So let's just have a look. So there's our files directory, and we're going to our day folder. And we can see that we had our 4 files in there that we created. So let's just jump back a couple of directories. Let's go back to our home directory again. Okay, so let's create 2 more files for this demonstration. So for speed, I'm going to create the files with the touch command. So I'm going to type touch and then the name of the file. And then I'm going to do a space and another file and press enter. And before you say it, yes, I know I've spelt these wrong on purpose. So Thursday, maybe it's an Irish spelling, I don't know, and Friday, well, I'm not quite sure of that, but I've made these spellings inaccurate for a certain demonstration. So let's just ls to make sure that they're there and we can see those 2 files that we've created in our home directory. So let's copy one of these files into the day folder that we have under the files folder. So to do this, I'm going to use the copy command, which is cp for copy, and then we'll pick the first one. So let's do Thursday.txt, and I need to give the relative path as to where I want to copy the file to. So I could say, well, let's do a tilde for the home directory, and then we want it in the files directory and in the day directory, and I'm going to press enter. So let's do a quick ls to make sure that it has actually copied that file into the day folder. Whoops. So there we can see we've got our Thursday.txt. Okay, so we know it's spelt wrong, so how do we rename it? Well, if we had realized the spelling mistake before we copied the file to the location, we could have fixed it by using the following command. So cp space Thursday.txt, and then the destination, files, day, and then we could have entered the name that we wanted it to be. So this would have copied the wrongly spelled file from our current home directory into the destination directory and created the correct spelled file. So if I press enter now and we go and have a look, we can see that we have the Thursday.txt. We still have the old Thursday.txt file, so we need to do a bit of cleaning up, which brings us to a good excuse to show you how we would delete a file. So to delete a file or a directory for that matter, we can use the rm command for remove. So let's do rm space and then tilde, which is our home directory, files, day, and then the name of the file that we want to get rid of, Thursday.txt, and I'm going to press enter. Okay, so let's have a look. Has it gone? Yes, it's gone. So we've got the Thursday one there, and the incorrect Thursday is disappeared. Be very careful when using the rm command. It can be quite devastating if you get it wrong. Okay, back in our home directory, we still have the 2 original files, Thursday and Friday, as we can see. We've already dealt with the Thursday one by copying it to the destination we've required and have renamed it, etc., so that we can delete this one now. So I can say rm space Thursday.txt. If I do an ls, we can see it's now gone. Okay, let's do something different with the Friday.txt file. I want to also copy this file into the same destination as the other one, but this time I want to move it and rename it at the same time so I have no further cleanup to do. So for this, we can use the move command. So move is mv, and then the file name after a space, which is Friday.txt, and then the location that we want to move it to, so files, day, and the correct spelling of the name that we want to move it into, Friday.txt, and we'll press enter. So the first thing we want to look at is when we ls now, has the Friday.txt file gone? Yes, it has. And then if we have a look for where it's gone to, we can see that we've got the Friday.txt file listed there. We can also move multiple files using wildcards. So for example, if I create some files on my desktop with the touch command, so let's navigate to the desktop, and if I say touch 1.txt space 2.txt space 3.txt and press enter, we can see in the graphical view as well over on the left that we've created 3 files, 1, 2 and 3.txt. So if I wanted to move all 3 of those files into the same place that we've just put Friday.txt, I can say mv space and then a star for the wildcard .txt. So in other words, I'm saying everything with a .txt in the desktop folder, because that's currently where we are. And I want to move it to files day and press enter. Now, if I do an ls to see, we can see we've got 1, 2 and 3.txt moved up into our files/day directory. And those files have been moved from our desktop because we no longer see them over on the left anymore. Okay, so that was relatively easy. So let's finish this off by using the remove command to delete a directory instead of a file. So let's say we want to delete the day directory under our files folder. The first tip I'm going to give you would be, do not be in the directory you're about to delete. I hope you will agree that that just makes sense. So from our home directory, I'm going to go back to our home directory, and we're going to do the following. We're going to say rm for remove, and then we put a space, and there we're going to do a -d flag, and the -d flag is for directory. And then the destination of the directory we want to delete, and press enter. Now that gives us a warning and says, hold on a minute, you can't remove this directory because it's not empty. So call this a safeguard if you like. But how do we overcome it? How do we say, well, yeah, I know it's not empty and everything in there is, I just want to get rid of it. We would need to replace the -d flag with a -r flag. So if I did the same command again, and I replaced -d with -r, which is for removing directories and their contents recursively, and I press enter, and let's change directory to files, and we'll do an ls, and what do we see there? We only see months and year. We don't see the day anymore because it's gone. And I can't stress this enough. Be very careful when using the rm space -r option, as once it's gone, it's gone. I think this is a good point to end this session. In the next session, we'll be looking at something totally different. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.